Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods here on this Tuesday morning. It is Taco Tuesday, and we got football tonight. We've got the Washington football team taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, it's going to be a long day. I actually got up extra early, got paint on my fingers because I'm painting Joe Barty's and racks of stuff to get out for you guys, the great fans. Got to make a drive down the country, take care of some business, get the dog looked at, and then get back here so we can live stream my kids, Rio Robinson, my latest child, along with Philly 500. And, you know, we're basically, they're fighting for the crumbs. They're literally fighting for the crumbs because at the moment, neither of them are in a playoff position because the Minnesota Vikings won last night. Now, I don't know what the tiebreakers and everything are that, if Washington or the Eagles win, I'm sure that I think one of them will get back into the playoff chase there. Or at least move up some. So we'll see what happens tonight with that. I can't wait. And we are actually in the same position we were a couple of weeks ago. And that was being able to kick back and watch the Washington football team have to play. And they're going to play on a short week against us on Sunday night. So another little advantage for the Cowboys, which I'll take right now. My video last night, I brought to the attention because people are talking about how the Cowboys, their offense is out of sync, Dak looks bad, and they're looking for all of these reasons too. But one of the things that nobody's really talked much about is the fact that the Dallas Cowboys ended up playing 3 games on the road. Now, November left a lot to be desired, but we ended up playing Sunday, Thanksgiving, then the following week we played New Orleans, which started out this streak. You played 3 games in 12 days. And on top of that, we ended up having, of course, during that time in November, losing Amari Cooper, losing CeeDee Lamb, to the concussion, Tyron Smith. We had a lot of upheaval. The fact that we got out of that with still having Tyron Smith out this past week and most of the game in Washington, and the fact that we won 3 games in a row on the road, something nobody else has done this season. Let me say it again. We started off this latest win streak against New Orleans, a team who beat Tampa Bay twice this year, one without a quarterback. We beat them in their house as our 3rd game in 12 days. We got a little bit of a break between Washington, but still, we're still coming back from all these injuries. I'm not quite as concerned as everybody is at the moment because you look across the board right now as it's become late in December, late in the season, when bodies are beat up. You're not seeing 40-burger points in games. In fact, you're seeing a lot of very low-scoring games, like Tom Brady with 0 points, cussing out his coach, literally taking his Surface tablet and throwing it on the ground. Yeah, he was pissed. I love it when Tom Brady is pissed like that. You're seeing across the board all these ugly games. The Cleveland Browns game, last night, that was just like watching paint dry. They're in trouble at the moment because they went from possibly being the number 1 in their division to last. The Raiders keeping their hopes alive. But again, under 20 points, most of the teams are scoring right now. It's the nature of the beast. So hopefully the Cowboys can get on track. The fact that the Cowboys, who aren't at their best, are still winning and moving up in the playoff seeding is a testament to how good this team is and could be. The big question is Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith, they're keeping close to the vest on how he is. The added rest supposedly is doing good for him. We don't know if he'll play against Washington. Washington is beginning to get a lot of their players back from COVID, and you may want to have Tyron Smith in there to take on Montez Sweat if he's healthy. But more importantly, we need Tyron Smith for the stretch run in the playoffs, hopefully. But I'm not quite as ready to just say we're screwed. Just not. I think about the drop passes that happened. I think about Zeke Elliott still nursing that injury, but getting a little bit better. I think about Tony Pollard just coming back. And eventually we get Blake Jarwin back, because Blake Jarwin, I know people don't think that Blake Jarwin is that big a deal, but Blake Jarwin is a great blocker, and he helps out the running game tremendously. So as we take all these pieces and things together and start getting together, we'll be okay. I guarantee we will be okay. But I want to go through. I'm a little short on time right now because I want to go put another coat of paint on stuff. I'm going to be leaving here to go down the road in a little bit, so I need to get as much done as I can before I go, so Mike can get them packed up and shipped out today. I want to leave it with, of course, Skip and Shannon. It kind of drove me crazy yesterday listening to all of the shows, because all the shows focused in only on Dak Prescott, not on Tom Brady melting down and not scoring a single point. They didn't focus on Kyler Murray, who all of a sudden went from an MVP candidate to them actually dropping down the list as far as playoff seeding. They didn't focus on any of those guys, only Dak Prescott. I haven't listened to Skip and Shannon in a while, but let's see where they are right now with all this.
I know. Tom Brady should retire. And Aaron Rodgers is now the MVP. And Dak is still in a slump. And I don't care, because all that really matters is, how about them Cowboys? Merry Christmas to us. We are 10-4, baby, and we're coming for that 1 seed, and you are in trouble.
You told me if there was a choice between the Bucs and the Cowboys, you choosing Tom Brady. That's what you told me.
Not anymore.
So now you don't give it. Tom, that's your man.
Shannon, scale of 1 to 10, how impressed were you?
I gave him a 3. I gave the defense a 10, and I gave the offense a -2. Because the offense,
-2.
I don't know what's going on. Skip, I don't know what's going on with Dak. You're protecting a lead, and what does he do? For the second week in a row, he turned the ball over, and all you're trying to do is just run out the clock, get out of there, don't get anybody injured. And last week it was a pick 6. This week he's got outside of the pocket, gets stripped from behind. Skip, he's not playing well. That has to be concerning, considering the star power, the firepower that you had on that side of the ball. But the defense is saving the day. I like what the defense is doing, is that when we play a team that's inferior to us, we're going to make them look really, really bad. And that's what they do. They take the ball away. They hit your quarterback. Skip, Mike Glennon, I'm just still trying to figure out how he get a job, how he keeps getting job, because he's awful. What was his numbers yesterday? 13 of 24 for 99 yards. 3 interceptions. 13 of 24.
I once watched my Vanderbilt Commodores just terrorize Mike Glennon in a bowl game, believe it or not, and intercept him 4 times.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes. And hold on. Didn't they get rid of Russell Wilson in North Carolina State for Mike Glennon? Was that true?
Wow.
I think they did.
Wow.
Skip, this is ridiculous. But Cowboys defense, Micah didn't do a whole lot yesterday, but D-Law and Gregory and the rest of that front 7 got home. And when you throw the ball up for grabs like that, more times than not, one of them DBs gonna come down with it. Trayvon Diggs, don't throw it in his direction. Don't throw it in his direction, because he's gonna come down with it. They're doing a great job of capitalizing. When you put the ball in harm's way, we make sure you're going to be harmed. But Skip, my concern for your team, the Cowboys are going to win the division. We knew that from about 5 weeks ago. The question that I have is that, when is the Cowboys offense going to hold up their end of the bargain? Because they haven't done that. I mean, to go to Kansas City, they get 9 points. The defense held Patrick Mahomes to 19 points. That should get you a win against Patrick Mahomes. You didn't let him score 29. You didn't let him score 39. You held him to under 20. Which doesn't happen very often, especially at home.
Yep.
And then the Broncos just scored 16. And the Broncos, we saw, they lost again yesterday. I hope Teddy Bridgewater is doing well. But that's the concern for me. I gave them a 3 because I think your offense is a -2, but your defense get a 10. So when you factor that in there, Skip, that's what I rounded you out to.
Okay. I will go you one better. My final takeaway from this game was, scale of 1 to 10, a 2 on the impressive scale.
Okay.
Because it left me limp because of the offense. Dak Prescott is still in a horrendous, inexplicable slump. he was having trouble throwing swing passes accurately. Backs are having to reach down at their feet.
Yeah.
And I know it gets windy and unpredictably gusty there in New York, New Jersey, but still, that's not my guy.
No.
And when I look at a stat sheet and I see that my 3 wideouts look at this. They caught 11 total balls for 90 total yards. CD had 2 big drops, but he seems completely out of sync and out of rhythm with Dak. And he caught 6 for 50 yards, and Gallup caught 3 for 32 yards.
What you going to do with Coop, though? The 2
Coop
for 8.
on the road, as usual. He disappeared. 2 for 8 yards. Okay. I went into this year telling you I think I have the 3 best receivers as triplets in the league. Not yesterday. So I'm going to give you all the above. I'm going to give you that my defense is now my offense because it just kept giving Dak gimmies.
Yes.
Here, we'll just give you the ball
Short
here.
field after
Surely you
short
can
field.
do this. You can do this. I got it. But when the night cleared, I sat back and I realized my team is now tied for the NFL lead in takeaways. Tied for the lead with 31 takeaways. My team is running away with the interception lead with 23. My team has now risen up in turnover ratio, which is the tell-all into the world statistic in pro football. Now tied with Green Bay at plus 12 for second. Okay, that works, and works.
Right.
We're 10-4. Last night, I couldn't even get it in my head because I can't remember 10-4.
Right.
It doesn't feel like 10-4, but we are 10-4, and
10-4.
we do have games left against Washington at home. I think we can win that one. Arizona, the wheels have all come off.
They have.
They lost at Detroit and looked bad doing it. They got blown off the field at Detroit. So are you sure we can't beat Arizona?
Oh, you should be able
get
to
some
beat them.
revenge, right?
Yeah.
Okay, which leads to at Philadelphia. It's a rivalry game. It's a hard place for us to play, but we've been better on the road than we've been at home. Do I think we could beat Philly? Yes, I do.
Do you believe you can beat Philly with your offense playing as poorly as they're playing currently?
Yes.
I keep saying no, but then my defense plays so powerfully, so overwhelmingly, so suffocatingly that it tilts the playing field back to our side.
Right.
And my team is winning in spite of this slump of Dak's, in spite of Mike McCarthy, who was at it again at the end of the half yesterday, and maybe even in spite of Dan Quinn, because as much credit as he gets, I'm going to say it one more time, and I think Cowboy Nation doesn't want to hear me say this, but the misuse of Micah Parsons has become criminal. It's like somebody should pay in court for this. Maybe I'll take him to court. And I don't know whose fault it is. I assume it's Dan Quinn's. It could be Mike McCarthy's fault. He might be overseeing and overriding.
He played a lot of the Mike Backer yesterday.
Okay, he's graded as the single best pass rusher in pro football. And yesterday we hit bottom because half the game yesterday, to 2/3 of the game, he's dropped back into pass coverage. What are you doing? He's decent.
All right, so we've got the doom and gloom. I'm going to end this video here with a question. The question is, right now, besides Kansas City is getting into their groove as far as offensive goes. What team right now is just blowing the doors off of offense right now? I honestly don't see any team right now that is playing great offensive football. I think that's across the board. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing somebody. But Green Bay. Green Bay's playing pretty good. But Green Bay, their defense is ass. But other than that, I don't see a whole lot of teams doing great things with offense. With that being said, I'm going to get this thing uploaded, get back up here in the workshop, and get some work done, and I'll be on the road. And, of course, I'll keep you up to speed with everything. Make sure you tune in tonight, of course. We'll be live streaming the game, and I think Rio Robinson will join us here. So with that being said, you know how we roll.
Our Colts here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is